play this record as frequently as possible.
Gotta get right with it down. One thing running, get it made. Everyone now is down. No second guessing, I gotta get ready.
What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Virgil here, and welcome back to another episode here on Dragon Ball Legends. Today, I'm going to be bringing to you guys my final Ultra and LF tier list before Legends Fest does begin. Legends Fest 2022 is literally less than a week away at this point. And I haven't made one of these lists in quite some time just because I switched the format to the top 10 best units in the game list via monthly or every other month. I've been dropping a top 10 list simply just for the fact that the meta kind of revolves around the top 10 units in the game, and anything that's not inside or anything outside of the top 10 kind of has a slight bit of irrelevancy, especially in the higher ranks or maybe top 1000 at most right now, obviously. But yeah, anything that's usually not in the top 10, you're kind of at a disadvantage to running, or a lot of these units still have great mechanics and are still insane units, but just to compete with, I guess, the top 5 best in the current meta right now, if you're not running someone in the top 5, like right now, it's specifically the top 5, not even the top 10 anymore. If you're not running anyone in the top 5, you're at a severe disadvantage in the current existing meta. Hybrid Saiyan / movies meta that we have with, of course, Beast Gohan. But I'm going to be doing a full Ultra LF tier list. We do have 1% sparking units, a couple of them, the more relevant ones. And it's hard to even say that just because anyone that's not literally in the top 5, top 10 max, top 15-ish, has become just, if you're running them, well, good luck. Hopefully you can outplay your opponent just because you're not doing enough damage. A lot of these units have been power crept so much that they literally just have become irrelevant, despite having still broken mechanics. Stats don't keep up the amount of support and then overall, damage inflicted a lot of these newer units have, especially just boosted units in general, right? A lot of the top 5 units still are boosted, and we have to include that, mention that. When rating these units, right? The top units are still boosted, so they do have that 20% to their damage inflicted, along with those pure defenses. But yeah, I'm going to go over all the units that you guys do see here. Make sure before we jump into, drop a like and subscribe if you guys do happen to be new to the channel, because I do upload every single day here with Legends content. We got Legends Festival approaching, like I said, in less than a week from now. I'm going to be uploading so freaking much. Multiple uploads in a day, and potentially 2 live streams instead of the one that I normally do on regular occasions. So make sure you're tapped in for everything. You hit that noti bell so you don't miss anything. But without further ado, I'm going to start out pretty easy here. I guess Z+. I think the only unit really warranting this is, it's kind of obvious, so that's why I'm going to, just throw him up there, is because Beast Gohan is literally the definition of a perfect unit.
This is the ultimate fusion.
Sorry about that, but yeah, LF Beast Gohan's literally the definition of a perfect unit. He has all or a majority of the mechanics that you would want to have in a perfect unit of this caliber, right? Kind of don't even need to touch on it too much. It's very obvious why he's the way he is. Fortunately enough, my luck was actually a little bit better. Still had to spend a ton to 14 him, but stats at 14 stars are looking quite superb. His green card is probably one of the most busted in the game, not to mention the gauge, right? Any unit with a unique gauge has just that much more superiority to any other unit in the game, just because they get an extra set of abilities and superiority in that sense, right? So they have a lot of unique things here. When the unique gauge is full, they get access to all these other set of abilities. So they restore Vanish by 70% on blue. They restore Vanish by 70% on green. You go type neutral for 5 timer counts if the gauge is full. Of course, you're destroying all of your enemies' cards, activates twice. Another extremely broken mechanic. Also, by the way, I just want to touch this on this really quick. I did make an all the best mechanics in the game video like 2 or 3 days ago. If you guys want to check that out, it's pretty much, for people that want to become more knowledgeable about the game, or just more in-depth, more aware of these mechanics, because it does help you perform a lot better in higher rank PvP if you know how to take advantage of these pretty busted mechanics. But yeah, restoring Vanish, going type neutral, destroying your enemy's cards, cover nullification with the gauge, all these things. He does a couple of more things here when he does fill up the gauge. Damage inflicted, key, card draw speed, infinitely stacking his ultimate. 15% to ultimate damage inflicted cannot be canceled, and every time you're filling up your gauge, you're pretty much just infinitely stacking your ults, especially if you wait till the end. But yeah, cover nullification is a huge powerful ability there. He does have endurance when he loses, he has a dead ally. That's another very powerful ability. He has this right here. If he has a defeated battle member, he reduces enemy Dragon Balls by 2, getting more damage inflicted. And among all these other abilities that he does have, I'd say this is the closest unit we've ever had in the game to having a more, a perfect unit. This guy has just too many mechanics. He has blast armor. He has, just a nuke of a blue card, ultimates, forever stacking. Yeah, this guy's just on a league of his own, right? Definitely deserving of the top tier in this game. I'm going to put, I want to put this character right next to him just because this character really makes Beast Gohan that much more of a threat, and I feel like it's their perfect, but they just can't compare individually, I guess. In the supportive realm, sure, like Pan is just literally the perfect partner for Beast. I'm gonna throw her in Z right behind Beast Gohan. The reason I wouldn't put her in Z plus is just because on her own she wouldn't be able to perform this way. So just for that factor of like her needing to be on the right setup with the #1 unit in the game is going to bring her up for sure. But yeah, individually, like she could still be built to do damage. As you can see on my setup, actually, I don't have her optimally, or not, I wouldn't even say optimally is the right term because it's optimal in my eyes. An offensive build for her. She's going to be tanking at 14 stars anyways. So I do have pure just damage equips on her. I have a lot of special move damage. It still holds a bit of defense here. As you can see, some of these items still have defense, but special move, ult damage, base health. Yeah, she's still doing quite a decent amount of damage, and every time she is hit, she's giving damage inflicted buffs. I believe it's 30% to the team. Also, when you swap, so applies the following effects to allies. When this character switches to standby, you get 5% to damage inflicted. It goes up to that 50%, which does stack quite a bit with her sub count. She's manipulating sub counts a ton. That's like her main niche, right? On her green card, her main ability, and her blue card, she reduces, shortens ally sub count by 3 on her green card. On blue, she shortens substitution count by 5 to self on hit. And then on main, she shortens ally substitution count by 3. So the fact that she's constantly shortening sub count does have an huge impact to the way the team runs, and you can constantly keep bringing her in and out, and then in and out of the match, and then having Beast Gohan come in and just nuking. She gets a green card and a blue card on main ability, and yeah, he does like to get greens and blue cards because they're pretty broken. So on top of all of that, she does go type neutral for 60 timer counts, which is another one of her main things. She doesn't have to really worry about Beast for a very long time in the match because you can immediately how many counts? I believe it's like 5 or 10 counts for her to pop her main ability. 5 timer counts for her to pop her main. Literally, she could just get into the match, pop her main, go type neutral for a whole 60 timer counts. She's going to get a green and a blue card. She can also, pop. I usually start out with Beast Gohan. So I bring Pan in afterwards. She can pop her main, which is going to reduce sub count. Green card's going to reduce sub count. And then Beast is already in with a blue card. So like I said, a fantastic supportive unit. She's giving damage inflicted. I forgot what this last one, I was just talking about it a little while ago. So applies the following effects to allies after enemy attack is over. 30% to her damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So her supportive damage inflicted does stack with swaps. The sub count manipulation is ridiculous. Very powerful mechanic. And then of course, her main ability is really nice. Her type neutral is really nice. Best partner for Beast Gohan. Warranted the second best unit in the game currently. I'm going to put this guy. Everybody doubted me. Everyone doubted me, bro. Everyone doubted me. This was the very beginning of this meta where people did not want to see this guy at the top of a tier list. And I was telling you guys, some of you guys were on the wave and could understand why he was so busted with this team, right, specifically. But as soon as this guy got a plat, his value just skyrocketed. And then this team dropped, right? Double supportive for Beast. The meta is right now, anything that you can kind of run with Beast in a type of synergy is going to just be extremely valuable. And the way that Future Gohan works is I actually have him built offensive as well, like on a main build. Just because he has enough, I think, disruption slash just able to eat damage on a regular instance without having the equipments for it. I do have pure damage inflicted here. Of course, his platinum equip is completely maxed out, almost maxed out. It's all red slots here, and then just focused on damage, more or less. Special move, ultimate damage. You got some base health, some base strike defense there as well, which is really nice. But all the supportive things he can do. He's been out for 2 years at this point, so you guys already know what he does. But yeah, the utility that this man does have, he just gets damage inflicted for the entire team every single time he's hit. Tap attacks, he can hit very hard as well. He's also supporting himself on top of everything, right? So I think this guy is just, this top 3 is the meta right now. So for the future to come, or like the rest of this list, right? If you're not running this 3, it gets even slim for 4, 5, 6. I think has some leeway to still be considered acceptable, runnable, all that stuff. But once you're getting to like 7, 8, 9, 10, everything else in this game, at this very point in this game, like if you're playing right now, this is the meta. You're running Future Gohan, Pan, and Beast if you have the team, right? And yeah, Future Gohan's just insane, bro. The cover change, the disruption, the supports, the endurance, just everything that he does have. I think he's a fantastic partner for Beast and Pan. Best team in the game, by the way. This is still the best team currently existing in the game. We can move on to our 4th, I guess, unit. I could put right next to, I guess it will go in like the top 10 order. I feel like it'll be good to go from top to bottom, just because I don't want to randomly throw units around. I do want to think about this unit, this list properly. I'm going to throw, where is the man? Ultra DBZ Broly. By the way, all these units besides Future Gohan are still boosted. So, pure defenses, extra damage inflicted, all that good stuff. But yeah, I think another good variant of the Beast Gohan Pan team is to have Ultra Broly there instead of Future Gohan. Obviously, he's not a supportive unit, but he is treated as like a disruptor defense unit. The one unit in the game that can actually take a hit. I don't think any other unit could has the defenses, I guess, quite like this Ultra Broly, right? It does have to do with his unique gauge, because every time his unique gauge is procced, he is stealing your vanish completely. It goes, your vanish is up to 0, so basically you're going to be in open for an attack, right? If you do enough hits on Broly, he's killing your popping your unique gauge, taking away your vanish, and then basically that activates 4 times, by the way. Your opponent is open for attacks, right? Reduces ki by 30, randomly destroys a card, a Dragon Ball. You restore your health, activates 4 times every time the unique gauge is filled. He nullifies cover as well. So this guy has not only the potential to be the best defensive actual menace in the game, right? He has just this disruptability. He can do quite solid damage as well if you equip him correctly. I was actually surprised last night. My recent video was actually showcasing this unit. All the, of course, the equipments I do have. Pure defense. This is like a must-have equipment for him. It's pure strike defense per movie's battle member. This one right here, just giving double defense, base health, health restoration, and then more pure strike attack, basically, because there's a decent amount of strike to go around, base strike to go around for the entire team. He was doing a ton of damage. Like, regular, he was doing a ton of damage, and it wasn't even the strike. We got pure strike damage equipped, but he was doing a really solid amount of blast damage as well. Of course, you do get some from this item here, but just overall, his damage output is very impressive for being, like, the type to just... He's a defensive type, if I'm not... Oh, he's a melee type. Very interesting. But yeah, just all-around unit. He's fantastic. He's being supported by Pan, Beast Gohan. I just think that the synergy is very well rounded out as well. If you don't want to like double support Beast, I think Pan is enough to make it work. The Future Gohan is superior in every shape and form. Like, not every shape, because this team is completely defensive. The one you see on the screen here that I do have on my phone is just a different build. So everyone is tanking on this setup. You get double defense from the Z ability here. Broly is just a tanking menace. Even Beast Gohan, these guys are just doing a little bit less damage with the Ultra Broly. I don't think that the amount of tanking that they're doing does warrant the amount of damage output that they have on this team. But, like I said, this is like the second best option you can run over or other than the Future Gohan setup. I don't want to take too much time to focus on builds or anything, but just Ultra Broly in general has the, the potential to be this high up on this list. I definitely agree with that, or will put him here because of it. Number 5 contender right here. We're going to put Revival Gohan, strictly because of the team. He's in a similar scenario with like Ultra Broly, like it's Pure Movies, a Pure Movies hybrids team, which means you can run triple hybrid Pure equipments and triple movie Pure Strike movie equipments. These right here, just because you have 3 members that are movies and 3 members that are hybrids, you could double Pure these characters, and they're just going to perform ridiculously. This one right here is a pure hybrids equipment, so it's per tag hybrid Saiyan battle member. You're getting a ton of Pure on this team. On top of that, he does have the revival safety net. He does have support on his own. He can still hit like a truck when you're trying to clutch a game. Say you lose Beast, you lost Pan. This guy can still nuke if the cards are played correctly. The AoE green card is very nice. Just an all-around fantastic unit as well. Specifically for how much he's aged. Like, he's over a year old at this point. Over a year old, no platinum equip, just regular. He's still this high on a list. I mean, he's, like I said, carried by team, movies, and hybrids being the best team in the game. He is both of those. He can take advantage of both of those equipments. Revival Gohan is at a very good spot here. A lot of units that are higher up, like from here, I think are going to be carried by team, just because you want units that can complement Beast Gohan and Pan well, right? Future Gohan being the best complementer of Beast Gohan and Pan, Ultra Broly being that second variant complementing Beast Gohan and Pan very well, and then Revival Gohan, I think, being the third best option to complement Beast and Pan well. Everything on from here, I think maybe like the 2 other units, like 6 and 7, are also very good complementaries. Even 8, 9, 10, they're all meant to complement Beast and Pan. If you don't have Beast and Pan, obviously you're just disadvantaged in the meta. If you don't have Beast Gohan, if you don't have Pan, if you don't have one of those things, you can still perform good, you can still play well, you can still win games, of course, but Beast Gohan is just that oppressive. Like, he's like gapped out. He's on his own tier. So the next unit that I'm going to place on this list, number 6, I believe, is going to be, surprisingly enough, this is a new Zenkai. And I am confident enough that he is the next best option to have on this team. So we got Future Gohan, Ultra Broly, Revival Gohan, and then the next best option to run with Beast Gohan and Pan is going to be this Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You guys probably thinking right now, like, is this guy lost a marble? Do I even have him on a setup right here? He's actually fantastic. Individually, he's great. Just one of the main reasons right now when you rate tier lists, it's not all about their individual kits. It's not all about the team dynamics. It's not all about color and everything. You have to take everything into consideration. But Sun family right now, you have to think that not only is Gohan, Pan, movies, and hybrids, they're also Sun family, right? And this Goku does have not only the Sun family Z ability, so he fits perfectly fine. He does have the Sun family variant of this equipment right here, which is also pretty busted. He's getting pure strike and blast attack per Sun family battle member. When this is maxed out here, is inflicted damage, special move, ult damage is up, base health, both base defenses. Very busted equipments he's going to have access to. On top of his new Zenkai is actually cracked, right? 2 cover rescues, I mean 1 on Sun family. I think the 2 cover rescues is only accessible on GT, but definitely one of the better cover changes in the game. This blue card is a nuke. Green card has this very powerful ability to restore his vanishing gauge, probably one of the best mechanics in the game. He does nullify unfavorable element factors for, so he takes type neutral damage for 15 timer counts when you pop this, and damage inflicted. He also forces a swap out, which I think is one of those underrated but very powerful abilities. Inflicts enemy with forced switching. Could be very good in some instances where you need to clutch up a game. You need to not face the unit you're facing right now to swap them out. But ultimate also hits very hard. Nullifies endurance. You're getting more damage inflicted on this ultimate if you are last man standing. As you can see here, 1 battle member, you're getting 70 to your ultimate damage. Main ability is pretty nice. You're getting health, key, damage inflicted, but he also has cover null when he has a dead ally, so that's really good. He gets card draw speed, a lot of tech stuff. But I think this guy is just another fantastic option for whenever you want to pair up, or the fact that he can be paired up with Pan and Gohan very well. Synergy wise, the tag wise, you can run pure equipments on this team. This item right here, where is it? If I can find it. Pure equipments in this game are just very important in general. I'm sure you guys already know this, so you got to take equipments into consideration when you're rating units and teams. If you do have very good equipment synergy and a lot of good bench options, this guy has pure strike attack for each Sun Family battle member. So you're running 3, that's 15% total pure, because Beast, Gohan, and Pan are Sun Family battle members, but very fantastic option. Next unit I'm going to put on this list is, and this is where it kind of gets tricky because everything else are good options, but not quite as good as, if you were running Future Gohan, Ultra Broly, Revival Gohan, or even this full power Goku. I'm surprised to see him this high on my list. I'm not using this GT or full power Goku all that much, but I've just, everything considered, right? Just the taggings, the individual, the amount of, synergy he will have with Pan and Beast is quite large. So I'm pretty happy with the, what is this, number 5, 6th unit in the game placement, which is really, really nice. But yeah, when rating lists, you basically have to consider the meta and what's at the top right now. Sun Family is definitely at the top. Number 8, I believe this is number 8. I'm going to put, I believe, Ultra Gogeta. You guys might disagree, might agree, and whatnot if I can find this unit. Ultra Gogeta, I'd put him up here. He's aged quite well. He's almost a year old at this point. His a lot of the mechanics that he does feature is just too crazy, right? Obviously, he has the lock-in, he has the type neutrality, he has the potential to just, the units that can support him as well. Pan, you could throw Future Gohan literally on any setup if you want to leader slot him, but he's another good option if you don't have Beast Gohan. He's probably the best blue option if you don't have Beast Gohan, just because of, the amount of utility that he does have. The green cards going nullifying cover change, the blue cards destroying your hand, which is very powerful ability. And Blast Armor, Field Control, very, very powerful. Blast Armor is, one of those things that are just so good. But when you're running Beast and Pan, he's not one of the best options, I believe, to run alongside them, just because he is meant to be that guy to do all the damage, right? So if you got Beast Gohan on the team, you want people to support him, disrupt for him, eat damage for him, rather than having 2 damage dealers on the team. It's similar to why, if you're running Beast, you don't want to run another crazy damage. You could run another crazy damage dealer. It's just they're not going to be doing their full potential. If you're running Ultra Gogeta, it's strictly because you don't have Beast Gohan. So you're going to run Pan, you're going to run Ultra Gogeta, and then you'll run another movies variant like Ultra Broly or either Revival Gohan, something like that. But they still have access to the movies pure. So, just movies in general. Movies is a very busted team right now. Definitely holding him up here. But individually, I think he could, and still arguably better than, obviously, Revival Gohan. Arguably better than this GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But just for the team's sake and the synergy that they do perform with Beast and Pan, Ultra Gogeta is going to take a back seat here at number 7. But like I said, individually, a lot of this boils down to the overallness. Individual is fine. I think all these guys are very good individual. Definitely better than Revival. I don't even like putting Revival Gohan this high. But, I will recognize I'm unbiased when giving my takes. I'm just stating the facts and what I believe here. Yeah, Ultra Gogeta is definitely going to have to take a seat back until Fusions or, just a team that he has better synergy on. I think I'm going to put at number 8. I want to put Cooler, man. I really want to put Cooler. It's crazy that he was a number 1 unit in the game about 2 months ago. Something like that. 2 months ago, he was literally the best unit in the game. And now he's just not able to be ran, right? Obviously, every single game you're going to be getting into has Beast Gohan, right? So you're thinking here, if the best team in the game has Future Gohan, why isn't Cooler great? Because he does go type neutral when your opponent has a Super Saiyan ally on the team. Therefore, he's going to be going type neutral against Gohan, and a lot of those scenarios are fine. In most instances, if you're running against or into this team right here, it's going to be the one that you see on my screen, right? The bench is the Trunks, blue Zenkai Pan, and then the yellow Broly's. I think the best build, the team you see right there on the screen is the best team in the game. If you see Cooler on your enemy's team, guess who you're not bringing? you're not going to be bringing Future Gohan, meaning that Cooler will not go type neutral, meaning that he'll just get instantly killed. Red units that cannot go type neutral, and he can. He just needs a Super Saiyan opponent, which Future Gohan's very prominent and stuff like that, but it's not enough to bring him out anymore. On top of that, we're not even seeing him. I'm not even seeing him too often. When I do, like I said, I just bring in blue Pan instead, double blue with the red Pan, and there's no Super Saiyan on the team, meaning he can't go type neutral. This Pan right here actually is very good. You know, not excellent or anything, but she does put down pretty much the Cooler usage, so Cooler's just not seen as much right now. And the fact that I'm saying that shows you how far, like, we're not even 10 units into this list yet. And the fact that you're not seeing a top 10 unit often in PvP says a lot about this meta. It's strictly a top 5, 6, 7 unit meta. This Cooler is not seen at all. And when he is, like I said, I'm bringing in blue Pan, so his type neutral doesn't proc. But he does have the, of course, the nullify endurance for existing when you pop his main for 20 counts is very valuable if you want to just Rising Rush, get rid of the Beast Gohan. It's going to be hard to do if you're not type neutral. You know, in a lot of instances, if Gohan still has the typing, he's going to live these Rising Rushes. But he has that, of course, the increased sub counts for your opponent, every strike arts. They're not going to be able to switch, and that lock-in play was very, very powerful when he released. But with units like Beast and Pan reduces ki every time she's hit. So that disruption is pretty crazy. He's not going to be able to do the amount of things that he was doing on his initial release. Can't snipe as well. Blue card ultimate still hit very hard, but like I said, hit less play just because you have a counter here when you're rocking or running into this team. You're just going to bring in this blue Pan over the Future Gohan. So Cooler's taking a back seat. I think he's still fine. A lot of these units individually, they're still fine. He has blast armor, a lot of niche things, just strike heavy team. I think he's fine. Just weird spot. A lot of these units from this moment, like this point on, all the units down are just going to become like not relevant at all. I mean, USV is going to be our next one. I think he's fine. Literally is the same issues as Ultra Gogeta. A little bit more issue oriented. Like I said, Ultra Gogeta and Cooler are still on movies, so they have like a team factor, Z ability, synergy. I think Ultra Gogeta doesn't even have the Z ability, but equipment synergy with the Pure Strike equips. USV does not want to be on these teams, right? He does support by debuffing, and you know, that's really cool. Individually, he's actually one of the best characters in the game. He does have a gauge. He does have means of going type neutral. His ultimate hits like a truck. He gets 100% of his Vanish back on main ability, which is a very powerful mechanic. It's just teams, unfortunately, right around this spot, which he's the 8th spot, I believe. I think, what is it, 6, 7, 8. He's the 9th spot on this list. All these units being Z. I don't know if I want to put them Z tier, actually. I'm just realizing this is not a top 10 list. I might move a couple of these down to S+. I think they could all stay Z. I feel like this is fair, actually. I feel like this is fair. Just because, you know, there's still busted units in their right individually. Like I said, just in the meta, USV does not have any, I don't want to say any place, because you can leader him. Like I said, he does debuff. It's just the equipment synergy and the way you want to, you know, run certain things. I think he's fine. He makes the top 10 list. He's a fine unit. I'm being a little bit too harsh right now, but I'm very serious, in my opinion, in the fact that he doesn't really have a safe synergistic place. He needs to be on fusions. He wants to be on Saiyans. He wants to be on a different team that's not movies, right? You just slap him on there for if you want to use this character, but he's not optimal over Future Gohan, Ultra Broly, Revival Gohan, or even this Goku right here. Even Ultra Gogeta or even Cooler are just simply better options than USV for the, you know, Beast movies meta and so on and so forth, right? This 10th option is going to be a little bit difficult here just because I don't believe, I think number 10 I'm going to put in S+. Don't think he can compete individually with a lot of these units. He's very, very powerful. He has a lot of damage potential. He has the ability on main, similar to USV, to restore his Vanish Gauge completely, which is an incredible ability. Ultimate blue card hits very hard. He does disrupt when you cover change with him in, another crazy ability, and he fits very well synergistically with Pan and Beast. So another good option. Honestly, I could argue him higher than some of these units because meta-wise, like, he should be up here, I think, because you're running into this character a lot more than Ultra Gogeta, Cooler, or even USV. But hear me out. Solely for the individual aspect, I'm going to continue to have Ultra Gogeta, Cooler, and USV over this Piccolo. I don't think his individual, I think just team-wise, obviously, you can argue that he's higher, but he does not compete individually with a lot of those other units, right? USV, Cooler, and Ultra Gogeta. Units like Revival Gohan solely carried by his team. I think this Piccolo is fantastic. He is bugged still. If you guys didn't already know already, he's taking 100% more to slice damage, I believe, which not many units do. Like, units with swords have access to this, right? If you're running into this Trunks, if you're running into the Tapion and stuff like that, he is susceptible to a lot more damage. And just in general, his defenses are atrocious. He's still boosted. So, you know, to know his damage or his defenses are this bad and they're boosted. So, he's just a complete definition of a glass cannon, but he does have some great things like Disruption, Vanish Restore, some tech stuff, and then the damage is definitely cannon, quote-unquote, worthy, because he definitely nukes. He has a lot of burst damage. Ultimate, blue card hits really hard. Yeah, great synergy with Pan and Beast. I think he could be argued. He's at number 10, so I wanted to say he could be argued a top 10 spot. I'm putting him at number 10. He's seen a lot more often, or around the same amount as Ultra, Gogeta, Cooler, USV, just every now and then, just because everyone does have Future Gohan, so they're going to be running the better setup. If you have Broly, you're going to be running him over it. If you have Revival Gohan, in a lot of instances, it's just better than the Piccolo variant because you can run double pures. The Movies pure, you can run the Hybrids pure, you can even run the Sun Family pure for all three, or all two of them Gohans. That's 3 pure equipments. Like, just the hybrid synergy is just incredible. But Movies is still fantastic. Piccolo's top 10, in my opinion. The next unit on the list, I want to put him higher because individually this guy deserves to be way like up here type beat, right? Individually, this is probably the most technical, advanced mechanics in the game. His gauge, is having the auto dodge, counter, free damage, auto Dokabaki wins, the Clash wins, free priority, everything that this guy does have, the amount of like a skill gap, I guess, to utilize him completely, and bait out basically clashes to have priority. Just this guy's crazy. MUI is fantastic. I think this is a very bad meta for him because he's red, doesn't have means of going type neutral, very similar position to where Cooler is right now. He can't go type neutral as often. Being a red unit, Pan does go type neutral for 60 counts, so she's like, perfect partner for MUI specifically. If he gets, I get it, if you're not going to get touched if you can use him properly, but one mistake literally is all it takes. You can immediately die, right? From a low Star Beast Gohan to the blue card would literally kill you. No support needed. I think MUI is great, but this is not the meta for him, unfortunately. I don't even know if I want to put him here. But in this current given moment, I think just individually enough, I can keep him this high, but yeah, he's going to go at that next spot of the list. I do want to put Trunks. You guys are probably thinking, why is this guy not higher than he is here if he's on hybrids? He has access to the pure equips. He has access to being with the best team in the game. Pan, Beast Gohan. I've been using him a little bit at the beginning of the season, and his damage is just not good. I don't know what's wrong with him. He still has a lot of utility. He has the Vanish Restore. Like I said, one of the most powerful abilities in the game is to Vanish Restore. He gets 2 of them on both of his ultimates. He gets 2 ultimates. Blast Armor is crazy. His green card heals. He gets 1 of the ults from green card. His strike damage was literal paper, bro. His just overall strike and blast damage is literal paper. I have him at 9 stars. He wants to be double supported. He wants to be doing what Beast is doing, but there's no point of running him if you have Beast on the team, right? So you're going to go full on and support Beast with support units, disruption units. This Trunks wants this similar situation to be mass supported to do a lot of damage, and I think he's fine. I think he's a great unit. Just he's definitely not in a great spot with Beast existing, not being the main option, I guess, for teams. And he's still fine, top 15 unit in the game, but he's definitely going to be a little bit back. I can honestly argue him over or around the same place as MUI. I think I'll just keep this. You could do this. It's fine. Like, it's not like a big deal or anything because they both, like, if you want to use Trunks with this team, and he's going to have access to the hybrid pures. If you want to use MUI with this team, you use MUI, Beast, Pan, it's going to be Sun Family pures. But which unit do I think is individually better? I think they both have around the same amount. I think MUI is still more. just the gauge for him is just too broken for me, right? Obviously, you can get your free dodges, your free damage, vanish, get the vanish back. Just too many crazy plays that you can make with MUI that makes him superior to so much in the game. It's strictly him being red and not being able to go type neutral is why I think MUI is back. But I wouldn't argue. I think it could be this, honestly, right now. The color factor is too much. The color factor is too much. I want to put him higher just because of how individually good he is. But this guy being green, fine. He's, color advantage over the best unit in the game. But Beast goes type neutral way too many times, so it doesn't even matter. His type advantage, whenever Beast is not even neutral, Trunks is doing tickle-like damage. So, unfortunately, this could be alternate. I'm just going to put Beast or Trunks first because I think Hybrids is still a better team. It's just pure Hybrids has the best equipment in the game. Sun Family's close. They're pretty much equal in position, but this guy has to go back because he's red. So he's red. From the rest of the list here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because everything else is irrelevant in the game. Like, everything's irrelevant in this game. You're not seeing any of these units, so it's going to be very funny to place them. I think I want to put Tapion very high, since the cooler meta is not... Dude, can I put him high? Since the cooler meta is just, completely... Not completely, like, movies is still valid, so you're going to run into coolers at some point. But, the Tapion is just still one of the best supportive units in the game. He's a 1%. A lot of people have access to him. Since you're not going to be running into coolers as often, you're not having to worry about that increased sub count, the lock-in, and basically insta-killed. But Beast is literally doing that to Tapion as well. But I definitely want to put him somewhere up here. S+ is definitely worthy of him. Being Rising Rush fodder, being able to manipulate sub counts, that mass supportive buff is really good. And also, he does quite decent damage, quite good damage. If you're running into Piccolo, he takes a lot more slice damage. So Trunks, Tapion are doing more damage to Piccolo. Movies carrying him. I think he's a fine option if you want to run. I say Gohan, Pan, and Tapion is very good as well. Not individually good enough to be above MUI. That's the funny thing, right? He's on a better team, but like I said, MUI is on that team as well. Sun Family, Taggings, Hybrids, Trunks is on that team, but we'll put that there. I think I'm going to put Androids next. You guys are probably thinking like, yo, Androids are not worse than Tapion. They're not worse than MUI. They're arguably still individually one of the best units in the game. They literally have no team right now. They have zero team. They have negative existing team right now. So individually, yeah, they're fine. That's the reason why they're this high on the list, but they have no team. You can run PO, but then again, coolers are already becoming slowly irrelevant because they can be easily countered. Droids are on a similar fashion. They just have so much in their kit. The tag switch, the most busted green card in the game, like I said, the typing switch, the takeaway of vanish, the Dragon Ball manipulation, the damage inflicted, the constant stacking of damage. It's just they can get very crazy very quickly, and I think that you can still argue them over Tapion individually. I'm going to put them above. I don't want to put... Bro, I'm being too nice to Tapioca today, for sure. But I'll put them above Tapion, but just individually, they're great. You can put them on leader slot wherever. They have issues because of equipments, right? Equipments are very important, and what makes equipments work is pure teams, right? So either Sun Family, either Hybrids, or Movies. These guys were on Future, so that's where their equipments came from. They could have had Pure Blast, Pure Strike, excuse me, and they would usually work with Future setups because of the Pure equipments, and just in general, right? But on powerful opponents, they were definitely lacking quite a bit, just because they didn't have Pure equipment options. But still, everything all around, I think they're fine. They lasted a very good while. If you guys have not realized the power creep ever since the Androids came out, right? It went from Androids to Anniversary, MUI, USV, Dragon Fist, Cooler, one by one, the power creep just insane, like increasing in insane rapid amounts. And now we have Beast, Gohan, and Pan just leagues, like a little bit far ahead from what the power creep was before. So it's not even like a step further. It's a couple of step furthers in power creep. Top 5, 6, 7 units in the game are just above everybody else quite a bit. So like I said, Androids have no team. They're not on Future because Future is not a good team or not a top, team right now that you're seeing in the meta or very frequent. Obviously, if you're in BR 50s, 60s, maybe you can see Future or like more uncommon teams, and that's completely fine. So your opinion might differ from mine. I'm just talking specifically like an overall sense plus like higher rank meta. You're not seeing Future, you're not seeing androids, but they're still good. They're still very, very good. They're just lacking team. I'm going to put Dragon Fist next. Definitely still carried by movies. He doesn't hit very, very hard, but he does need to be double Zenkai buffed. He needs to be supported. He needs the Beast effect to where everything is catered to him for him to be really, really impactful. But he does have a gauge to where you fill it up. He's going to be nuking on ultimate, takes away your vanish, pretty much locks you in, traps you, and kills units. But I think he's very good. He does have cover null on the first 2 entries, another very powerful mechanic. I think I'll keep him there in S+. I think it's fine. But my main issue with him is that you're not really wanting to run him over any other option in the game right now, I think. Even though he's green, he's doing paper-like damage to Beast. Beast can go type neutral, all that good stuff. But then again, Sun Family and movies, that's like double pure option right there. It's the same reason why this Super Saiyan 4 Goku's doing so well. Just this synergistic team option. You could run Dragon Fist, Super Saiyan 3, and he's going to perform fine, right? The team is pretty good. Pan support, you can double Zenkai buff him if you want. And in this scenario, Beast wouldn't be fully supported or like fully focused on. But then again, this does exist in the game where you focus on Dragon Fist, he can perform very well. But our next units, it does get a bit tricky from here. It does get a bit tricky to pick the right units. Maybe Majin Vegeta, I'm confident enough to say that this guy is still a huge... He was, when Cooler was running around, this guy was just the one very powerful blue unit that wasn't a Super Saiyan, that you didn't have to worry about Cooler going type neutral, locking in, killing. He heals a lot on his transformation. He has the AoE green card, the knockback, the nuke on blue. Very powerful stuff there, but I think he's very lacking in teams. I think that's like one of his main issues. Vegeta Clan, Saiyans doesn't have like the best team right now. It's strictly Sun Family, movies, hybrids are the best teams right now, but Vegeta Clan, not so great. Saiyans kind of fell off. Like, you're not really running this team. I might move him back a little bit more, but I'll throw him on S+ for now. I think individually he's still fine. He can hit very hard. There are Saiyan pure equips, I believe. Like, he has access to some, but just the team dynamic isn't supported on that, right? I'm gonna put Cell over here. Pretty good partners for the androids or even Future Gohan. Just that OG Future setup that you were kind of running when androids came out. Future Gohan, Cell, and androids were literally the most busted team in the game. You can also alternate with Sword of Hope Trunks being the blue option for Future, but Cell being an anti-hybrids unit, I probably put him above Majin Vegeta right now just because of his abilities to have anti-hybrid damage inflicted, right? He has anti-hybrid damage inflicted buffs. I'm not gonna don't even want to look for him right now, but if you go to his kits, it's quite substantial amount, I think. It's quite substantial. He gets 50% over here. So it's 30% to hybrids, can't be canceled, and it's another 20% to damage inflicted to hybrid or Saiyan. So 50 innate damage inflicted against hybrid Saiyans. On top of that, he did get a platinum equipped to make it more sufficient, or not sufficient, more convenient to fill up his gauge. He already starts out with a bit of his gauge done. And then once his gauge is full, he's just, he's hitting very hard. His ultimate's going to hit very hard. He has the anti-revival mechanic. If you're running into Revival Gohan, you're going to be doing some pretty good stuff here. But then again, he's just no teams, right? Number one. Number two, Beast is just still Beast, right? That's the best way I can explain it. He even in the best instances, Beast can survive most things. Not everything. Like, in the right situation, Cell can definitely take it, but just Beast has the capabilities of living so much right now and doing, insta-killing Cell, basically. But I'd put Cell this high. I think he's a great unit, just lacking on teams right now, for sure. Next units, we can start putting some of these bottom feeders at the bottom just to get this list more amped up. Just some easy ones, I think UI Omen is just dead, bro. Unfortunately, he needs a Zenkai. I think team-wise, fine, whatever, but he literally does nothing on his own, right? Sun Family, he's good. Literally does nothing. He needs a Zenkai. He's, auto-dodge, whatever. can be massive supportive, mono purple team. Whatever the case, this guy's just not good. Gogeta Blue, I'll throw him in A tier. Maybe back of S tier. I'm being really nice by throwing him in the back of S tier. I'll see what it is. But this guy's still very, he's fun. I was using him last night, and he's just extremely fun. I think that's the way to describe him. He's just like a super fun unit. He's on movies, so movies can definitely carry him if need be. He could be a couple Zenkai buffed. The equipment synergy on him is very good as well. You could throw some Pures on him, Pure Movie Strike equipped. He has a couple of, 3 plats to choose from. So special move, ult damage, base strike attack, so many different equipment options. But he does have cover change, or not cover change, nullify cover change on entry for the first 3 times, which is one of the most powerful abilities. He should have gotten card draw speed. Doesn't have it. Great unit. Don't know why I'm talking about Gogeta Blue too much there, but I'm going to throw just... A lot of units are going to be in S. A lot of units are going to be in A tier. I'm going to throw FSK down here. I'm going to throw this Goku down here. I'm going to throw Evo Vegeta down here. These 2 units were very, they were heavily compared with each other on release. The Gogeta being a little bit older. I think he's still better just because he has different team options. Movies being one of the best teams in the game can definitely carry him over, over this evolution Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't have. Vegeta Clan is ass. God Key is not good. USS is not great. Individually, this guy needs so much help. They both need platinum equips, but I'm definitely going to give this spot to Gogeta over it. I can argue this guy individually being better than these 2 right here. I can honestly argue him in the top of A. This guy's just complete dog. So this guy he's carried by his team maybe. Definitely carried by his team, but still Zenkai, I'd say individually last man standing. Hybrids is more strike oriented right now. He definitely was once king of the game, just isn't anymore. But yeah, we're going to move on. I think I'm going to put Rose to bottom tier as well. He's just unfortunately maybe back here. All these units are just bottom tiers, bro. Bottom tiers. This unit's so bad, bro. They're literally so bad right now. But this guy was very, pretty good on his release, right? He has the Nullify Endurance for existing, which made him very good. He has the Extreme Bleed, the Neutral on Blue, whatever, just mid damage. His damage is non-existent now, though. And definitely needs a Zenkai. A lot of these units need plat equips. I don't want to forget about this guy. We can move back up here. I think I can throw him pretty high up on the list. God Key, it's just everything, like I said, past top 6, 7, 8 has already become, mainly non-relevant. So all these options are pretty good. I'm trying to think what team he would be on right now. Mainly God Key or even Future. But then again, he's not supporting Future via his unique abilities. So they're strictly to... I believe Vegeta Clan and God Key supporting via his uniques. So he could be ran on Future, though, just strictly for Z abilities. I think he has a Future Z ability. Not 100%, but yeah, I think maybe he'll be put over Majin Vegeta at this given point just because he's green and he has the potential to lock in and snipe. So I can kind of give it to this Vegeta over Majin. I think individually Majin will actually take it. He did take the spot during the cooler meta strictly because of his non-Super Saiyan end color, but I'll put him above right now just because he's green. So whenever he's not, or Beast is not type neutral, he can actually should do decent amount of damage. And then if he can actually catch him, he can lock and potentially kill with his ultimate. So we'll keep him that high. I think he deserves that spot. Everything is looking very solid for me right now. I'm actually not regretting any of my decisions. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with this Majin Vegeta placement. I'm going to put... Okay, everything else here is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm going to put this Broly in S tier. Somewhere at the top of S tier. I think he's a decent blue option, similar to what Ultra Gogeta is for Beast right now. There's no reason to run the Ultra Broly, or not Ultra, excuse me, LF Broly if you have Ultra Gogeta, and there's no reason to run Ultra Gogeta if you have Beast. So it's in that similar fashion. He's another good option, blue option for movies. I think he's fine with his plat item. He ramps up very well. Vanish, Restore, Damage Inflicted, Card Draw Speed, Feint, Force Swap. He has insane amount of good mechanics, but he is power crept to the absolute max. But he, like I said, if a lot of things are catered to him and you don't have a lot of good unit options, he's still pretty good, you know, pretty decent. Somewhere at the top of S tier. I think I could put Bardock higher. I'm not going to lie. Bardock will probably... I think Saiyans are just not good, so he's a big team issue right now. I think I can do this. I think I want to do this. Individually, Bardock could be higher than this with his plat item, not before his plat item. If you guys didn't already know, not a lot of people know this just because you don't have him. He's a very rare unit. A lot of units that people don't summon for don't really know where to place these characters. But from all my usage, he has insane amounts of utility. He does get endurance when he has a dead ally. His green cards are quite busted, actually. There's like this one busted setup where he's pretty much immortal. You guys have probably seen the video already because I've made it. But yeah, the Bardock is actually really good. I think that is a solid placement for him. He does take type neutral damage after a dead ally as well. But yeah, so he doesn't have like insane reds to kind of counter him in the meta right now. It's strictly team, I think. He doesn't have a solid place for him to exist, but I think individually he's warranted at this pretty decently high spots. The next unit, I guess we could start throwing. This guy is just bad, you know, just put him down here. I guess UI is better. Rose, let's go. This Beerus is just strictly bench option. Goku Black and Zamasu, they're somewhere at the bottom of S tier. I guess I could do or add them on later. This Mecha Frieza should be pretty high up. I'm going to throw him at the top of S tier. I think LOE is still really, really good. But, you know, they obviously don't compare with the top of the game. Cooler being a top 10 unit. You can definitely argue Mecha Frieza. Just individually, his lock-in. He has the capability of locking in multiple blue cards. The way he heals and gets a huge portion back of his health. So this disrupt, so to speak. But I think Mecha Frieza is high. Like, he was heavily underrated. Can't really say heavily underrated right now in this meta because he's just not existing. Also, not a lot of people summoned on this dog-ass banner. Excuse my language, but this banner is literal trash, and he had zero reason to summon on this banner. So not a lot of people know his value, but he's definitely a contender for even being a better option than that first form in some instances. First form Frieza is around the same placement. In just an overall sense, I think the support that he does offer, the blue card holding, the manipulation of sub count, the immobilization on his green, he holds a ton of utility as well. But I can honestly, I would still put Mecha over. Like, he just tanks so well and does a solid amount of damage as well. Frieza does just have so much utility. I think I could equalize them at this point. And their current value, I can equalize them. This guy, Frieza, has the ability when he swaps into remove buffs. So, like, that buff, nullify cover change, right, that Beast gets. I've seen a lot of people run him just to take off that ability. And, yeah, I think LOE is still, just overall just a solid team. But in this existing meta, not as much. I think all the LOE units can go around a similar place. I think Revival Frieza or even Golden Frieza are all around the same spot. I think top of S tier is definitely a good spot for them. I'll probably put, Golden Frieza higher than everybody else, being that he is a green unit, so he counters the best unit somewhat. He's not type neutral. He does have the anti-blast armor, doing a ton more damage, fast burst damage against blast armor. He has the cover nullification on main. He draws a full hand. Very nuke-like blue card damage. Green card is very good as well. But yeah, he's probably the better out of all of them. Then I'd put Mecha. I want to put Revival Frieza. He's just, the LOE's not the same without him. That Revival safety net's really good. I think I'm going to do this order right here from Golden to Mecha to Revival, then First Form, I think is the LOE pattern. I think that's like literally what I want to go with. But yeah, let me know. LOE's just, it's just not what they were a couple of months ago. Like I said, the power creep was definitely too insane. It started out with LOE and then it moved on to androids, or future, so to speak, with the androids coming out into Aniverse. Like, just the power creep was really insane. But in their prime, LOE in prime, I think when Cooler dropped to, it kind of revived LOE somewhat. So LOE was just a top tier team. Still are. Still a great team. Just, they don't compare with the top 5 units. I get, you guys probably get what I'm saying at this point. But I think we could throw Whis a bit high as well. He's literally there for support and green cards and, just disruption and stuff like that. So I think I want to put Beerus, who is his like perfect counterpart, right in front of Whis. Yeah, I think I want to do this for sure. Do I put them higher? It's like, what team dynamic can I put with Beerus right now, though? Like, MUI is God Key, Beerus, and then who else? This Vegeta, this God Vegeta here makes God Key, right? Whis, Beerus, Vegeta, and MUI. Yeah, I think the LOE guys are definitely still warranted to be over Beerus. I mean, Cooler still exists, you guys, and he's a top 10 unit. So any of these LOE members can definitely warrant their pretty much top S existing positions. I think Beerus is fine. He was a little bit better during Cooler's meta just because he was another unit that wasn't a Super Saiyan and he was blue and he could pretty much nuke out characters like this. And then Whis being the supportive unit that he is. You know, he holds green cards. He was great during the red purple meta with Whis, MUI, and androids. The green cards, like I said, very, very good. Probably put him a little bit more value than Broly. He's just replaced a time over, right? Ultra Gogeta. You would be using Ultra Gogeta over this Broly, but he's still fine. You know, he's just can't compete with these units ahead of him. Let's put this VB. He's probably somewhere up here in S plus or maybe high S. I think I'll put him in high S tier. You know, he just has team, like, individually, he lacks so much individually right now. It's not even a team thing anymore. He doesn't do, his kit's fine. You know, he does paper-like damage, though. His ultimate hits like an absolute truck. Fusions are kind of in the muddy. Not horrible, but would I put him over Majin Vegeta? I don't think I would put him over Majin right now. I think just for team's sake, fusions, you know, Saiyans are on a bit lower end. So I think VB is kind of, don't even want to put him in S plus though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, don't want to put him in S plus. I do not want to put him in S plus, man. Z, S plus, okay. S. See, in most, Majin feels so much better. I think the team is definitely going to carry VB though. He's still on fusions, right? We have two very powerful fusion units in the top 10. Definitely going to carry this guy up there. Majin Vegeta, you have no team, bro. Leader slot, I guess, is like his only argument, but he has no team. So, yeah, I think that's the way we're going to roll with it. Majin Vegeta, I don't know, like, he's literally strictly off here because of how individually good he is. So you could throw him on leader slot with Pan and Future Gohan. He's going to be doing things, right? He's definitely going to be going crazy. But I think this guy has some decent qualities individually. Just he can't keep up with the meta, I guess. Next sets, we could put Jiren somewhere here. Said Jiren has no team either. USS is not a fantastic team. And that's literally the only team he's on, USS. You could also throw him on LOE, so to speak. Powerful opponents is kind of good. Where would I place him, though? Probably like somewhere up here, maybe. It's just a little bit harder to rate. Like I said, everything else in this list is a little bit harder to rate. And with his platinum equip, I think he's definitely warranted somewhere up here. Somewhere in high S tier, I think. Or like right next to Mecha. Right above Mecha. I think this is a good spot for him. Just blast armor, AoE green card, the AoE damage on his ultimate, so he just removes a ton of chunk of health when you know, if you land that ultimate card. He does get a ton of abilities after Rising Rush, and this meta is not great because you're not Rising Rushing anyways, but he does get Endurance. You know, if your opponent procs a Rising Rush, he gets an entire ability off it. He has his own platinum item, which makes him, you know, a lot better than he was before. But I'd still put him behind Golden, just because Golden has a lot more counter-ish measures to, you know, blast armor, being green, stuff like that. I can honestly put him over Majin, bro. Majin, just take a step back, my boy. Just literally negative teams, dude. Just teams are such an important thing, equipments and all that. Jiren here is fine. VB, I'm literally processing this very hard right now. Processing this, you know, does he have more teams than LOE guys? LOE is literally their only team as well. VB has a little bit of leeway being a Saiyan / Future / Fusion, but then again, Fusion's the only relevant ones out of all of them. You could say Future Gohan, right? So if you were to do Future Gohan, Pan, and VB, it's still like a good variant. You know, double supportive VB. Put him above, I think. Yeah. I think I would, yeah. Yeah. And then Fusion's just being better in general as well. But moving into the next ones here. This Super 17 is great. GT still sucks. I'm going to throw him behind Broly. I don't know what else I'm going to put, but yeah, he's definitely, I wouldn't put him above anything else here. As a free-to-play option, I think he's one of the best GT units in the game. He has just a ton of stuff that makes him very solid, but nothing enough to put him above any of these guys team-wise, especially, or not especially individually, just more so team-wise, I think. But yeah, you can put this Goku Black Zamasu, maybe. Like, who am I thinking for this 17 for GT? Like, powerful opponents? Like, he's mainly wanting to be ran on GT, right? So, I think Goku Black Zamasu has a fine spot somewhere in S tier. They're great on future. They're, they could be on God Key. A lot of higher God Key units here. As you can see, MUI, this Vegeta's up here. This guy will probably be warranted. They're still tanky to this very day, right? You could run some pure defensive equips on them. But definitely one of the better aging units from, I guess, of Legends Festival of last year. So the fact that they're still in S tier is pretty good. I think I'll leave him there. Kid Buu, probably around here, I'd say. Or like up here, maybe. Yeah, I think Kid Buu is actually quite good. No team. I'm like trying to think of a team. These LOE guys, he'd probably be individually better than the LOE guys, like these at least. Oh, this is tough, man. This is definitely tough, but I think he's definitely better than these guys individually, especially with his new platinum equip. A lot of these characters like Jiren, Bardock, got platinum equips, so made him really good. This Broly right here, but his zero team is just PO, and there's Regen. Regen's dead, PO. You kind of got this Jiren here. You got Cell, you got Droids. I could argue him higher than this Frieza. No, just LOE still too prominent, right? Like with the Cooler being a top 10 character. There's no top 10 characters for this Kid Buu. Probably put him in or right behind all the LOE characters. I'd still say that they have a bit more value for everything that they offer. Right in front of Beerus Whis. I think that's very fair. Very fair. This Kaioken right here, I'm sorry, my guy. I'm so sorry. We're going to put you... I want to put him above the Broly, though. I can see the argument why Broly's higher, but Kaioken's kit is way too nasty, right? Like, the utility, his gauge, if you can utilize his gauge to the complete extent, you're just getting ridiculous amount of vanishes. The ultimate... Not even the ultimate. Whatever his other traits... His main issue is the amount of damage that he's dealing and receiving. That's like his main issue, but I think his utility, the strike, that's what it is. The lock-in on strikes when he enters the battlefield is a crazy ability, especially on a strike-based meta like this one, or most metas. A lot of metas are heavily strike-based, so when you enter the battlefield or your opponent switches characters, a new character enters the battlefield, you're locking strikes, which makes it just open for attack in a lot of scenarios. So that ability, the Restore Vanish, and I believe there's a couple of other niche utility-wise things that he does do. But I think with a Platinum equip, with a lot of defense and offense, I think this Kaioken can see so much. Another thing is that he's definitely able to be carried by team. He's just versatile team-wise. Sun Family being the best team in the game. You can put him with God Key, which is okay. Like, not the worst. Definitely not the worst. And then some other ones like USS, or even that's pretty much it right there. But to throw some other units on here, I'd probably put Buu right behind Broly. Broly's, like I said, carried by movies, just another good option. Just more usage, I'd say, over this Buu. Literally, I don't see anybody running regen, especially in higher ranks. I don't know what it's looking like in BR 50, 60, stuff like that. I could see it early season, but I did not see this Buu at all. I think he's underrated for sure, though. He does go type neutral, I believe. I do have him. I just don't use him all that much. I think he has potential to be a lot better, more value when we get some really OP regen units, right? I think this guy's very good, but I don't think he's good enough on his own to carry him higher placement here. PO maybe. I believe he has the PO tag. Blue Boys are just down horrible. I'm going to put them above free-to-play 17. I think they're down horrible right now. They're in desperate need of a platinum equip. I think they were, obviously broken on release, but they fell off quicker than any unit I've ever seen. Their tag switch mechanic definitely carries them. The Vegeta side, I feel like, does way more damage, but the blue card's pretty nice. The Vanish Restore on blue card. I just can't think of any reason to really run them other than mono purple, like extremely buffed to focus on them. I get it, supportive buffs, and then the Zenkai buffs with pure equipments can make them look really good to this day, but, you know, not better, even under these guys, right? Like, to put them under these guys is crazy. They are on movies, too. They are on movies, so you can argue that they're higher because of movies. Give them some Zenkai buffs, and then movies carries them. Yeah, I could definitely see that, but not higher than Broly, unfortunately. The Blue Boys desperately needs a platinum equip. These guys would be higher if Future was in a better spot. Like a couple months ago, these guys would definitely be higher than Blue Boys, but yeah, it's gonna go like this right now. I think I could still put individually this Boo's just better than the Goku, so I'm gonna have him over it. Movies, just for the movie's sake, we're gonna keep him here. Namek Goku, he's somewhere in A tier, I think high A tier. I think the best unit in A tier, maybe. I think he's just in a better spot. Sun Family also, you know, Sun Family, he's not like the worst, but I'd still put him over Gogeta Blue. And this Vegeta right here. This guy, somewhere in S tier. He's around here, I think. You know, he's okay. Fusions, right? I think I'm going to put him right here behind Whis. I think that's like a fair placement. Can he be higher than this? Fusions, we got some fusions in the top 10. They're definitely being carried. Can I put them higher than this? I can put them higher than this. These guys have no units in the top 10. Can I put him higher than Kid Buu? Individually, I want to say no, but team-wise, he does support the team quite well. He's going to be under all the LOE guys for sure. This is the dilemma right now. This is serious, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna put Kid Buu individually higher than this guy. I'm sorry, man. We can put this Vegeta somewhere high in A tier. I feel like he's very underrated, slept on, whatever the case. He's still very bad, but he's definitely not warranted anything under A tier. I think he can outperform just team-wise, and then just next, I guess, recent, you know, he's not old at all. This guy's not old at all, but to be this low, I mean, he's not even an LF, so I guess that's fair enough, right? But there's a lot of other units like Tapion, which is a really good 1% unit. Golden Frieza, whatnot. This guy just did not age really good. They kind of messed up his transformation style, right? You know, they didn't really give him a nice way to do it, but I'd honestly argue Nameku over this guy, like, honestly, but I can find the reasons just team-wise that why this guy would be better, God Key or USS, or just for a lot of different reasons I could find why I'd put him over Namek Goku. Just aging purposes, right? The Namek Goku has the counter, and that's pretty much it. He transforms, he's got a counter, very powerful counter, so if you focus on Namek, he can still be really good. Last man standing, this guy's fine. Gogeta Blue, these guys aged so freaking much, bro. Oh my goodness. Omega Shinron, I'm going to throw him very far back, I think. I could throw him probably above the Blues right here. GT is getting a ton better. You know, we don't have the Zenkais on this list, but we did just get Zenkai Super Baby 2. We did get Zenkai Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We did get Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think Omega could perform okay. But then again, he's red in a Beast Gohan meta. He doesn't have a platinum equip. He's hitting like paper. He does have paralyzed. He has some other niche stuff. I might put him farther back. I'll probably throw him back here. I'm not going to lie. Just individually is not enough. GT is still ass. It doesn't matter how many buffs they recently just got. Their team is solely Super Baby, and they got this guy right here. So top 10 unit. This guy's still not good enough. They got the free-to-play 17, right? Free-to-play 17. The free-to-play Goku, actually, I would put over the free-to-play 17. Not sure why free-to-play Goku's not on this list. I think he'd be over the 17 for sure. Tien doesn't make the cut, bro. This guy is just irrelevant to the absolute max. I'm going to put him around here. You know, he has a pretty decent RR mechanic. Maybe I'll put him higher. I don't know. Somewhere like right here, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to... I always try to think, is like Nameku actually this good, bro? Like comparing to a lot of these newer units, but yeah, Tien's value is just quite practically useless. I'm gonna throw Gogeta 4 at the back of S tier. We like to slander this guy a whole ton, but you know, with the rise in value, like the current, I feel like this is fair because he just got a decent amount of value with the GT Zenkais with the new characters we just got. We got Zenkai full power, the 2 Super Saiyan 4 Zenkais. We got Pan, we got Super Baby 2. I feel like GT is gaining a bit more value. Also fusions, we do have 2 fusions in the top 10 characters. Definitely carried by team. I think individually he's okay. He goes type neutral. He gets another blue when he uses his first blue. He has the cover change against both. He also nullifies cover change on green, I believe. Blast armor ultimate can hit pretty hard as well because he does go type neutral. But a lot of utility, I'd say, for his age. Definitely didn't age like Revival Gohan, but you know, I'm putting him a bit higher than I did previously because I slandered him a ton. And GT's gaining value, so I could see him above this. GT's, you know, getting there. They're definitely getting there. I think they're definitely getting there. They have a top 10 unit with the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I feel like it's definitely warranted enough to even bring him above Blue Boys at this point. Yeah, Blue Boys has just become a sad case, even though they can be carried by movies. I think it's enough to put Gogeta 4 over the Blue Boys at this very point. Like individually, it's debatable, but it's like Gogeta 4 is definitely carried by his team. Trunks is somewhere in S+, I'd say, above maybe this right here. I think he's like right around here. Like I said, Future is really not in a great spot. You got this guy. You got a top 3 unit in the game, which is fine, right? Supportive. You can support. Droids are really good. Cell. And then you got this guy here. He's just... The team is not good enough, I guess. The team is definitely not good enough. Let's put Frieza back down a little bit more. I'm like having flashbacks of using this Frieza. Yeah, VB. Oh, dude, VB sucks, bro. I'm thinking as like a top ranked player. That's how I'm like rating these right now. So S. VB's very carried, bro. He's so carried, man. Literally, he's an ultimate machine. That's all he has. I think this Majin Vegeta is just a way better unit all around. Definitely carried by team, but I think he's individually better enough to put him over. I think Jiren is probably still better than Golden, but Golden just is a better counter at least. I'll put him right there. I think Jiren is better in a better spot than just touching up a little bit of things here. You just put the Trunks here. Future and hybrids, right? You could argue, you know, Beast, right? There's a lot of other blue options, right? You got this Ultra Gogeta, you got LF Broly, you got this Trunks. He's not really meant to be ran on hybrids. He's meant to be ran on Vegeta Clan or Future, I believe, for him to get his endurance. So hybrids is not even his optimal build, but you can still do it just because of how good the team is. But then again, you don't really want to do it. So I'm going to put him back here. I think this is a fair placement for him. Future not being the best team right now. They're kind of lacking quite a bit. So I think I could find reasons for all these guys. Kid Buu's just that guy individually. Like, that's why he's in this weird placement right here. But I think I'd still do this. I still see way more VB. Just individually, I'm just going to have to put my personal opinion. Majin Vegeta over Vegeta Blue. Jiren is going to be right behind VB for sure, I think. Arguably better, but VB just has the team, dude. VB definitely has the team. This 8 Vegeta is going to be somewhere in A, right around here, I think. Right around here, I'd say. Or higher. Like right around here. Something like that. I think CMZ can be somewhere in S as well. I'd probably put him right around this back end. Whatever his team's Future. You got God Key. Yeah, he's going to be like right here. Is he better than this guy's? Not in a Beast Gohan meta. You're going to be right in front of Super 17. Let's think of your color, buddy. You're literally getting insta-killed. So this Goten, he's somewhere in A. I'll probably put him in the back ends. Full power Frieza, I think is okay. I'll probably put him a little bit higher. Just nullify endurance for existing. Carried by LOE's pretty good. And, you know, AoE blue card damage is heavily slept on. The Restore Vanish, the amount of utility on this character is actually ridiculous. This Frieza has been slept on for ages, bro. Like, I get his overall damage is not the best, but yeah, like I said, nullify endurance for existing. AoE blue card damage. His Vanish Restore is crazy. Dragon Ball manipulation every time he enters the battlefield is pretty slept on. I'll put him back here, like right behind Kid Buu. Trunks fell off a bit just because of the team, man. He was definitely carried by Future. This guy, I don't really know how to rate him because I don't have him, but from the gameplay that I have seen from him, I'm going to rate him like as mid. I think he's okay. He's like a really decent support. I'll probably put him over VB, like right here. I think this is a very fair placement. You could also argue this. I feel like he's good enough to almost bring him to S+, but I think that VB, I'd rather be using VB, or not VB, excuse me, Maj Vegeta. Yeah, I think this is fair. And then this Piccolo is probably somewhere in A as well. He's just, you know, regen is just not good. Probably over these guys. This Tien I'd probably put over the Piccolo. Name Goku I'd probably Sun Family, right? Sun Family prioritize, right? Anybody that I can rock with the top units in the game. Sun Family. Dude, I'm serious about this list right now, man. We're gonna put Piccolo right here. Ape. Hope you guys are hearing all my reasonings. Team factors into a large portion. These guys are not insane right now, but they can definitely be carried by a team. Piccolo doesn't have a team. This guy is just okay. This guy. Goten is just non-existent as well. Then, is he even warranted? I feel like he's that bad that he's going to be in B tier, bro. He's like literally not good. He's almost up. But this is the official list, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. This was raw as well. I didn't really like break down or think about this. I kind of gave you guys all my thoughts. But this is my official tier list here. A lot of these units have the potential to increase in value. A lot of these units have the potential to just fluctuate positionings depending on the team and where the meta goes. As GT gets buffs with this Legends Fest, a lot of GT guys will probably go up. You know, with God Key, USS on the rise as well. Maybe a lot of God Key characters. We need some Platinum equips. We need something for my boy, the boys Blue Boys. We need something for Kaioken to see him a little bit higher. Maybe Team. Definitely a Platinum equip. He needs a Plat. Give some summonable Ultras Plats, you guys. Or the Legends, Devs, teams. This guy definitely needs a Plat. And I feel like he will get one. And he's going to make, you know, GT that much. Hopefully it's a good Plat. But I did think about this list for some time here. So I'm pretty happy with this list overall. There's probably some things that you guys can move, like maybe right next to each other if you guys have different opinions and whatnot. Did I move? I think I put this Vegito here by accident. Like, why is he all the way over here? I think I put him right here before, didn't I? Why is this Vegito all the way up there, bro? I mean, definitely carried by team, but not individually. Like, I feel like Cooler, you know, it's the same reasoning why Cooler, LOE, whatnot. I think I had this guy over here. Somewhere over here. Yeah, I'd probably put this Frieza over this Vegito. This guy's okay, but I don't know why he was so freaking high up there. It must have been like a misdrag. But this is the official list at this given point right now. Yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the very next one. I'm pretty happy with the list overall. It's not easy to rate all these units, but just from experience and, you know, knowing mechanics in the game and how to gauge out what really makes a unit broken, the teams, individual, all that stuff. The only relevant units in the meta right now are literally Z+, Z+, and then maybe half of S+. Everything, or you can argue all of S+. Somewhat relevant at the end of S+, but everything in S and lower, you're just not seeing in the meta, maybe at lower ranks and stuff like that. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay frosty, and I'm outie. Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me.